my third false start. Today's reading is going to be messages or message from your soul's home planet. So thank you very much to Brittany for this suggestion. I'm just going to go straight into it so I don't muck it up again. You've got three choices. The first choice is Lyra and Natural Humility. The second choice is Orion Light with True Compassion. And the third choice is Pleiades with Holographic Healing. So if you want to take your choice, and we'll have a look to see what message will be siphoned down to you. So let's just see what we can get out of it. It seems an unusual question, but I find these type of things fascinating because I don't think that we're all sat on different planets before we come here, but I do think that we are collected with regards to our vibrations around other vibrational or energetic hubs. And I don't think they're going to I don't think they'll be round with us sat on top after a little tea party. It'll be almost like something out of the Matrix, where we are drawn towards certain areas to receive certain lessons, and we will look like balls of light, I reckon. Yeah, okay, I'll see you in a minute.
La música de Harry Fraud.
Oh, this is going to be difficult for me. I've just decided this. I'm going to start off talking with what I've got here already. Let me pull these down so you can see them a bit better. I think it's nicer. You can see all my rubbish then, can't you? There you are. You can see these a little bit better now. Let me get nice and comfy. Okay, so you've got the Natural Humility card with Lyra here. Basically, what the Natural Humility card is saying, I've heard Sadhguru saying this ages ago. He was saying that he taught his daughter to not look up to anybody or not look down on anybody. And I think oftentimes, and you can see it very much in society, that we do run from fear or love, somewhere in between a lot of the time, but out of not wanting to feel irrelevant, lose our egos, just feel that we are complete waste of space at times, we can act in a way that tries to almost put ourselves forward as something that we're not. You've got the Emperor card here. So I'm going to have to go into this. I don't really know what I'm thinking yet, but the Emperor card, well, I do know what I'm thinking. That's a lie. I'm putting myself down here. The Emperor card is a card of often taking a superior position. And this is the pile, the first pile. There's not many piles in this. Is what are you doing wrong? The Emperor card is taking a superior position, but there's always two sides to everything. They're prepared to work hard. They're prepared to take on responsibility. But with the Emperor card being Capricorn and Aries, Aries is childlike and forceful. Capricorn can be quite humble in some ways, but there's always that drive. There's always a drive to succeed, normally in a financial sense or in a way that they get respect. So, and this is talking about humility. And this is sort of saying that, and with the King of Pentacles here, it says enchantment. I think I don't use these cards because those words. Put these two cards together, it's like a business person. And then you've got the Two of Swords, which is normally like a blocked feeling. So I feel this is like, what are you doing wrong? It's like playing a role where you think that you need to succeed in a outward manner with regards to how you're seen financially successful. You know, you're doing really well at your job. And I often see this. I don't have this. I have lots and lots of faults. I don't think I have this one. But I can see it in people, and it makes me sad. It makes me sad. I keep thinking, you were kids once. You know, but it's we've all come here for different reasons, and both my parents are Capricorn, but they didn't push us into anything, or they didn't, we didn't need to succeed or be successful or be this and that. I don't quite know why, but this is, and I'm trying to think, what have you done wrong in this? To me, it's a little bit like you feel that you need to Take care of yourself, take care of people, make sure that the work is good and it's presented in a good way, and that you come across to employers or employees as being proficient at things. And I think with the Two of Swords here, lots of different thoughts in here. The Two of Swords here, there can be some element of block which could be to do with fear. So if you found like you thought of like applying for jobs, or if you've got to do some work and you procrastinate, there could be something in here. And just another thought here, I know a gentleman very close to me, geographically close rather than emotionally close, who's got Parkinson's. And I remember reading years and years ago, I don't know if there's truth in this, but Parkinson's is one of these things, take it with a pinch of salt, as I know that it could be insulting to people who have or who know people with Parkinson's, but is supposed to energetically come from a inability to make a decision. And you've got here, you've got two choices here with the doors. You've got somebody here who's trying their hardest to look proficient. It's the only word I can think of, to be honest. And if you put this child, which is supposed to be you as a child in a business suit, or you put them scurrying out the door on the way to work ready to apologise for being late, and I'm not saying we all have to work hard, because it's through experience that we get to know ourselves. But with this card here, it's almost like you get stuck because you're trying a little bit too hard to be something, or to think that you're something that you're not, that you don't have to be. It's a very, very difficult thing to say, but I do think that people have natural propensities to be able to want to need to express certain things. But this is sort of saying there may be times when this could almost be like an anxiety attack. Say if you have got a job, I can't think of jobs that are really, high flying. I really can't. Let's just say you've got a job and it's a lot of responsibility. Let's say you're in government office or something like that, and you have to do a presentation in front of somebody. This is almost like hyperventilating before you do it, even though you do a good job. It's like what stress is your body going under in order to look like the Emperor and the King of Pentacles, to keep that money coming in, to look like you are top dog in the game that you're playing. So that is what I've got there. I don't quite know what that means yet. Let's put some other cards out, which are what you're doing right. What you're doing wrong is pushing your body a little bit too far, even though you may be trying to fulfill something that you feel that you need to experience. Let's have a look at what are you doing right. Message from your planet. Awakening. Oh, lovely. Magician. Oh, lovely. Magician and death rebirth. Okay, this is almost saying that the pile I've talked about initially, you can almost wipe it away, because this may have been the past with you. This may have been something when you were in school or secondary school, or whatever if Americans call it high school, whatever that is. It's like a feeling of needing to succeed, but you've almost let that go. It's like, well, that's not important to me anymore. It was important to me at one time. And it's waking up and knowing your own skills and seeing. The Magician card has got an element of, a fine element of creating. The Emperor card may have, but it's almost like force and looking at the end game. The Magician card underneath it is like, well, I've got those skills anyway. This is me. This is, things I've learned. This is things I'm, reasonably confident with. But it plays with them a little bit more. The Emperor doesn't play. The Emperor is, and it's like structures things and organises things, and there's an element of threat in that. If I don't get it organised, I'm going to feel awful. The Magician card is, well, I'm never going to lose these skills. Well, these skills are something that you can do. Maybe you're like a real whizzy on the typewriter. Maybe you're just really sort of open and friendly, or maybe you're just very good at a barista or something like that. It's like that skill is there inside you. Don't sweat the path. And you've got here the death and rebirth and the awakening cards. To put those on either side, I don't know what you're up to, but it's something good. There's a very strong feeling in here that you're very aware of yourself and who you are in the situation. And it's a real sense of, I'm going to repeat myself, but I'm trying to make it sound dramatic. It's just waking up. My mind went sideways then. This is what I was thinking. I'm not very good at lying. I was thinking as I was doing this, there must be so many people, in between the last sentence and this one, there must be so many people watching tarot that are on the either the sidelines or immersing themselves, or maybe really really forward moving with healing themselves and then healing others, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I really don't know. Because it is almost like, I don't know. Yes, tarot could be like watching a film. Sometimes you watch a film. I remember this very much from being a teenager, and you can identify with something, and then almost that becomes part of you because you think, oh, I wasn't aware of that. So yeah, you're right there. I can see myself in that person, or I can see myself in the way the person interpreted the cards. And this is very much a case of, I'm aware of all of this. I'm waking up. Anyway, I'm talking too much. Let's get on to the next bit, which is advice for you. And then I'll sum up. The moon, let it go, let it flow. You've got this very structured emperor. The emperor is almost literally in a box, and that is good if you're a policewoman, a policeman. It's fantastic if you're formulating some sort of law. If you're in government, things have to have structure. If you're a lawyer, absolutely fantastic. But you've got the magician card underneath here, which is you've got those skills that you've obviously embedded inside you, but you don't need to have them structured so much. You can take them from one situation to the next. They are you. So don't sweat the whole path. I've said this already, haven't I? It's like just be a little bit more. Because the most important thing is awareness with these awakening cards. It's all a game and you're just expressing yourself. The moon card again is literally Cinderella has fallen off that path. She's on the road and her vehicle is upside down. It's like, well, just let it flow. Don't get upset about the details. Whether you get what you want at the end of it. And this will, literally the car here, or pumpkin with wheels on. It's like, it's just a journey. I'm going to leave that there. I'm not going to explain it. I'm just going to leave it there. Thank you very much. Bye. Hi pile 2. I hope this gets cut up because I'm restarting again because I started talking about turkeys. And I wasn't meant to be talking about turkeys. This is going to be a shortish type pile. You've got the true compassion with the Orion light here, and it's something to do with the card is meant to be through pain you become a compassionate being. You've got difficult cards here, and this is what you're doing wrong. So let's sort of link them together to see what's going on. Talking to my sister this morning about lessons and painful lessons, which is probably what we've got all here, and being compassionate. And the first thing that this is my younger sister, and I just automatically start thinking of Chiron, the planet in between Saturn, which is Earth, and the planet in between Uranus, which is Spirit. So it's through these lessons that we get through Chiron, that we in the real world, that we realise that we are spirit, and spirit we're all the same soup, isn't it? Our souls are all connected. We're not different from anybody else, which is a bit similar to the first part as well. And then that's what I'm thinking, but she said Mercury. The first thing she said was Mercury. I don't know what we were talking about, but it was on this theme. And I thought that is really interesting because there's lots of times looking through people's charts, they've had the greatest awakening with a transit to Mercury. And I tend to ignore Mercury quite a bit, to be honest. And she was indicating that it was the same thing. It's the message between spirit and earth. So I thought, you are right there. I don't like to admit it, but she is right. It's through our mind and our awareness and our ability to think that we become aware of ourselves and what we possibly are. If you take Mercury, your ability to think, and you can see this with, I'm not going to go into detail. Yeah, no, I will, because it is a scientific fact. Looking at things years ago to do with thyroids and research and cretinism. So and this is probably when I was pregnant, I had an obsession with fish. I could not eat enough fish. I put it on pizza. I don't know what was going on. And so looking into all of this type of thing, and You know, if you don't have enough iodine, the child that you possibly could have, and I don't think this happens so much nowadays, but maybe in different countries, you know, the child is not mentally sound, that their mind doesn't work and their body doesn't work properly, but it's very, very difficult. So what I'm trying to say here is that the mind can be the link between awareness, but if your mind doesn't work properly, it's very difficult to feel compassion and it's very difficult to feel connected, because your mind can't reach that far above daily needs, possibly, if you're lucky, with the things I'm talking about. I hope that's not insulting. I don't think it is. I don't think it is at all. You know, that is actually a fact. Okay, so let's have a look at the cards you've got here. You've got the Three of Swords, the Tower card, and the Awakening card. That is basically, and this is meant to, what are you doing wrong? What message would be coming from your planet about compassion? And this is pain, but you've got the Tower card. The Tower card is always a card that you get in tarot, when you've let things go on too long without using that Mercury, without using your mind. And what happens is it comes as a shock, because you're just busy being you, getting on with things, good or bad, and then it's like your spirit guides, your people from your planet, it's like, okay, right, we're going to have to do it now. Let's give them the big lesson. They'll thank us later, they'll hate us for the moment, and then that's when the awakening comes. That exactly is what the Tower card is, where the lightning hits. It's like hitting your head. It's like, oh yeah. You know, following some sort of route that doesn't serve you anymore, but you're still adamant that that route is for you. And I feel here, to have the Three of Swords here, is that there's pain and maybe you're still holding on to it. They often say it's like hitting your head against a brick wall until you actually realise that's not the path you're meant to be on. And I think that you may have had that situation in life. So it's like, you know, don't repeat that pattern. When things don't feel right, you should be able to decide whether it's worth persevering or whether it's just like, okay, I am hitting my head against a brick wall. So that may be something you're doing wrong, or not, perhaps possibly not changing paths early enough for it to be a subtle movement. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to say it again about brick walls. Let's have a look at the next cards. What are you doing right? So not moving quick enough, doing wrong. Being in situations, possibly, it's not having enough compassion for yourself, to be honest, in this first one. If you don't have it for yourself, how can you have it for other people? And with that awakening, once you see you're connected to everybody else, you must be able to forgive yourself as well, because you won't be able to forgive others. Let's have a look at what you're doing right. The Eight of Swords can often be a card of tying yourself in with your own thought processes. The High Priestess is a card of understanding subtleties. And the Two of Wands is a card of thinking about taking action. So what you're doing right, to be honest, this is awareness. This is feeling uncomfortable in situations, but knowing it's a lesson. With the High Priestess here, it's like reading the Matrix in some way. It's knowing that it's a lesson. And the Two of Wands is seeing situations and options possibly earlier, and possibly realising what your choice is, even if it's a difficult decision at the time. I'll give you an example here. Let's just say what you're doing wrong here. Heartache, being in a relationship when somebody really isn't treating you well, and what happens is they leave you. I'm not saying this is just an example, because people sense lack of self-respect, and this isn't about you, this is general, and then you get the awakening when you think, actually, once they've gone, and maybe a year later of this pain, you're actually happier. You've got here what are you doing right, that you're sensing situations are uncomfortable. The High Priestess, you're reading there may be a lesson in it, and that it is all a game and not to take it so seriously. And the Two of Wands is almost trying to preempt your next move before the rug gets pulled from under your feet again. So it's awareness really here. So with compassion here, I would say that the main lesson in this is compassion for yourself, for the mistakes that you've made. And, you know, we've all made horrendous mistakes. I often think if we sat down and got a download, like, you know, sat down Sunday evening, got a download of our past lives and all the things we've done, we will be disgusted with ourselves, absolutely revolted. And I always think when I do people's astrology charts, I did Diddy's ages ago, probably about 2 months ago, and I thought, and we all know what's going on there. We all know what type of person he is, and we probably all know what type of people are behind him. And he is some sort of sacrificial lamb to some extent, but lamb is the wrong word. You know, I think, we don't know, but we do, if you know what I mean. I was going to say then. Oh yeah, about not judging him. I still can't do it. I still can't sit there and slag somebody off looking at their chart saying, well, I can see this. And I just can't do it because I keep thinking, I've probably done something like that in my past life. Oh, I don't know. But, you know, something pretty dark. I still can't do it. And I think that there has got to be law and order so that the situations aren't repeated. They need to be pulled up straight away, but there needs to be an element of not getting too involved in other people's misfortunes and having an emotional or energetic response to it, because then it becomes part of us and we need to move away from our own dirty laundry and just concentrate on that. And that's a very difficult thing to do, I think. And I really admire people who can see what you would say dark, destructive people and still forgive them. I don't know in many situations whether I could. I don't know. But anyway, let's get back to this. He's still with me. The message from your soul, from your soul's home planet is, well done in seeing how life works, seeing below the surface, feeling uncomfortableness, and then thinking, okay, I've got choices. Not being so enveloped or cocooned in a drama. And that's like, let that go from like past lives. It is a general spread here of you're getting there, well done. You're making your own decisions and you're taking the light option. You know, sometimes we feel, this is really difficult to explain. I know I'm talking too much. You've only got one more card left. Sometimes we take difficult situations because we think, it's not L'Oreal because I'm worth it. It's the complete opposite because I don't think I'm worth it. And we all have these things. I often used to think in my past life, in my recent, I had to work really, really, really hard and not enjoy myself to earn money. What a stupid idea, I told myself. Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Anyway, let's have a look for some advice for you in this last spread. And I'll sum it up in a couple of sentences. 5 of spray cans. The 5 of spray cans is not everything has to be a fight. You've got a little child here, draw the raised bridge, and you think a bit like I just said. I feel like, or used to feel like life had to be gritty to be worth something. And I think we have to be gritty, but don't go searching for it. So your advice here is, don't push so hard. Don't think that life has to be difficult. There will be options to change route, and follow the one that makes you feel the lighter, that makes you feel as if you've got compassion for yourself, and that will help you see. There's no resentment then for anybody else in your life. We don't put the blame outwards. And which can often, you see people, if you listen to them carefully, they will blame so-and-so, mum, dad, brother, sister, co-worker for rotten parts in their life. And we've got to be a little bit more, of course these situations happen. Absolutely, awful things happen, but it's not going to help. It's not going to help us to move forward. And that's what's the most important thing to do, which is why you've got the awakening card here. So, yeah, you're doing a good job. Keep yourself light. Take the easier option at times. Be compassionate with yourself. That's your message. I'm going to shout now. Thank you very much. what have we got here? Pile number 3, holographic healing, Pleiades. The holographic healing is basically saying that consciousness is holographic. So if you are feeling something, healing yourself, it's going to heal the whole, is what I think it's saying. If you do something good, heal yourself just through a tiny little trauma that you had. Whether it is something like, oh no, I can't go and ask the ice cream man, I'm too shy to ask him for a great big dobber ice cream because I'm going to look like I'm greedy, but you think, oh, I don't care what people think, I'm just going to do it anyway. That would supposedly ricochet or vibrate to past lives, future lives, other people. It's all connected is what it's saying here. What you've got here is the Hermit card and the Centre card, right? This, and then you've got a group card here. I'm going to have to tell you a story to tell you what I'm thinking with these cards here. I've got a friend who is, I guess she's Christian, I don't know what she is actually, but she's very group orientated. So I think she was, at this time, this was about 10 years ago, going to church and, in church groups, very, charity based. And she loved it, really enjoyed it. But she said something like, I can't stand selfish people. And she was talking about different religions, which were more like the Hermit card, more internal. The Hermit card is like a person in a cave, isn't it? So you're thinking, in my mind, I'm thinking, she felt that perhaps more, I'm guessing, Buddhism and Hinduism were more selfish. I didn't say anything at the time. Our kids were really young, so it's actually probably a lot longer ago. But what I was actually thinking is, well, that may suit your personality, and that's it's good for you because that allows you to connect and allows you to give. But there's always that old adage, is that the right word, where somebody who is doing something in changing their consciousness to some extent is going to, with this card, ricochet through the whole of humanity or the whole of society or past lives, future lives. So each to their own is probably what I'd say there. And you've got the Action of Pentacles here, which is like small actions, doing something, moving forward in a very practical way. And this pile here is your pile of what are you doing wrong. To me, it feels like there's two different sides. It's like you've got a choice here. You're doing both. So that's like an understanding of if you change yourself, you can change the world type feeling. And this card here is connecting as well with everybody. Well, I don't know what that means. That's what it means so far, but I couldn't tell you what you're doing wrong here. You don't know what way to... Okay, maybe there is just basically the throw-up between feeling selfish and feeling self-centred. It's like feeling... And that is a very sort of extrovert-introvert, I guess, type of argument that may go on everywhere. Which is really weird, isn't it? And we never stop to think about it. Maybe you interchange between being extrovert and introvert, and sometimes you feel bad for being one or the other. Because that's what that would say. Daily actions, one internal, one external, connecting, one connecting internally. And this is sort of saying it doesn't really matter which one you do, but there's some sort of heartache with it. So to translate here, it's difficult for me, this, because I don't know. And I'm just trying to translate. I'm not saying it's a problem. I'm just saying that I'm learning as I'm saying it. To put this into context in a practical situation would be... Maybe there may be a situation in your life where people have wanted to join you on a journey or come and stay in your house, and you've thought with the Hermit card, actually, no, I can't do that because I know after a day or two, I feel like I'm going to be exhausted with you. Maybe they want to come and stay for a week and they're out of, they haven't got somewhere to stay, and you have to say, you can stay for a couple of nights, but I think that would ruin our relationship. So then you may feel selfish. On this front here, maybe you could be, because there's a negativity here with practical actions. The Three of Pentacles is connecting. How could you feel? Yeah, I'm saying it, finding this difficult, because it's almost like the world is somehow rigged up to feel that introversion is worse. So extroversion, let's just say, I'm trying to think of people I know that are really extroverted. My dad. it's like a need to always be with others and people that are closer to you. It's like, yeah, it is like a desire to always be out, to, you know, because you get fed from other people's energy. And sometimes it's like throwing up between, literally not throwing up, but it's like tossing up between the two here. Oh, I don't know. I really don't know. What would you be doing wrong if we're all connected? Let me put another card out. This is not saying no to people that you don't want to see. The Hermit card. Okay, so to translate this to this holographic healing, if you feel bad about a decision that makes you feel okay inside yourself without thinking about other people's thoughts and opinions, it's okay to say no. You're being offered something emotionally here. It's okay to say no. If you want to travel on your own, spend time on your own, you don't want to do very extroverted, very group orientated things, but the moment you start feeling as if you've done something wrong and almost berating yourself, that's when it actually becomes more difficult. That's when your energy, the you know, the sort of the more, I'm going to say twisted then, but the more self-sabotaging energy, that will damage everybody else. So be confident with regards to your decisions. Let's have a look with this group work here. It's okay to work as being part of a team, but you don't have to connect with everybody. So there may be some, I'm going to say like people pleasing, but this is like connection where everybody's, you know, friends and buddies, they're all working in part of a team. It's okay, you can work individually, but still be with people. You're not going to get on with everybody. And again, that would say, because of the holographic healing bit here, where it's all connected, that to be aggressive, to be resentful, that's when you've lost. It's just acknowledging that not everybody's, you know, we're all on a journeys, we're all very different, we all learn from each other, and sometimes it will feel good and sometimes it won't. What it's generally saying here is take each day at a time and see it as a calm experiment. So that's what you're doing wrong. Perhaps you're taking it too seriously. Feeling guilt, feeling resentment towards other people and situations. Maybe a little bit there. Let's see what you're doing well. Sorry that took so long. I have no excuse. I just don't know what I'm seeing. And it takes me a while to try and understand it. And I want it to make sense to me too. And hopefully catch a couple of people there. It might make sense to them. So what you're doing well. The Enchantment of Swords. Embodiment of Swords. I haven't got my glasses on. Justice card. Well, these are both airy to begin with. So to me, that would be, with regards to what we've just said, it's logically understanding the situation. And yeah, and more stubborn, I think, with regards to what you give and don't give to people. So to start summarising here, it's like you're on a journey. There's things that have rocked you in the past, and it's rocked your inner stability that is affecting everybody else, even if you don't know it. The whole ideal here is to have a light touch on life. To keep yourself, this will sound ridiculous because I know that people say you can't keep yourself happy all the time, but as often as you can, just to basically don't hurt anybody, don't hurt yourself, but just keep your energy light. And I feel that with these cards here, and the Swords card is there, which is lightness, it's the ability to understand and to be a little bit more easygoing with yourself, but to also have boundaries with regards to, and this to me feels like how you look at yourself and how you think other people look at you. Yeah, I can translate this very, very quickly into, let's change it into a work situation because we've got it here. Let's just say you work, let's say you're in school. So you could be young when this happened. Let's say you're in school and you were in a particularly good mood, but you weren't in a particularly good mood. You didn't want to share yourself with people because you thought, okay, well, I'm going to keep myself away. I don't want to, put that mood on others. And you got berated for it, or you got told that you were stuck up, or what else would be hermit if you cut off from people? Just too core-natured, just too much into yourself, and that hurt. It's like letting that go and allowing yourself to, just to say that was a good decision and I made it. So I'm not going to ruin it now by hating myself for it. Let them say what they will. With this card here, if you were in school and you were part of a team and you know, everybody was giving their opinion, it got very aggressive, and you were like trying to keep, you know, keep everybody on track. This can be like a work scenario, it can be a family environment. It's like, as long as you're doing what you think is right and you're listening to other people and being considerate, you've got to keep on that path without getting upset. Or it's, you know, it's like, this is like maturity, isn't it, in some way? And that's basically what it's saying. It's maturity with a light touch. It's awareness of the differences between us all, and having to keep your boundaries, keep yourself straight on your track that you know is right for you. That's the best I can do with that. Does that make sense to anybody? You know, maybe there's a particular situation that you're in at the moment that may be touching on these two things. How much time do you spend with yourself? How much time do you give to others? How much time do you feel that you have to be, everything has to be hunky-dory with group situations and with other people? And sometimes, as long as you're going forward on your path and doing the correct thing, it doesn't really matter. Because this is like path, isn't it? You know, practicalities. Let's put some advice down. Oh, we've had this card already. The Moon card is, and we just talked about paths, and this has already come up in pile number 1. So I don't know if they're connected anywhere. I can't remember what I said now. But this lady's on a journey, isn't she? It is a path that can have pain and heartache. Excuse me. And you've got her falling out of the pumpkin on wheels. So it's almost like clarity can sometimes come after the event. But we're always learning, I suppose, here. But the Moon card here, sometimes you won't know how you affect other people in other situations. Maybe it's people watching. Maybe it's people who you are in work with. Maybe it's your child watching you or a parent watching you. We learn from other people as we are all connected. So not only does it ricochet underneath the surface, you know, that the healing, and it's like you can heal yourself by just being centered and being aware, which we've got here, but you can heal others who are also watching above the surface and below. That's what I've got there. Yeah. I can't think of any other way. Let me pull them away before I go and see if you agree with me. Holographic healing, affecting people on a vibrational level and possibly externally as well. So got that there. You've got cards here, the Hermit card, internal. You've got the group card, external, introvert, extrovert. Not always taking everything that is offered to you, because you may have introverted moments. You've got here the Three of Pentacles with the Eight of Pentacles here, working as part of a team and connecting in a very close way, as opposed to basically just getting the job done. It's fine to just get the job done as long as you're not harming anybody, as long as you're trying to cooperate. There's going to be differences. So again, don't make a mountain out of a molehill, because that will ricochet all the way through the holographic universe. It's something to do with pain through everyday actions. And so those may be two things that issues that you've come across in your own sort of form, or whether it's family, whether it's work, I don't know. Then you've got here sword cards, things you're doing well, and that the swords cards are air. So maybe you already have got a light touch to things, so well done. And there's a feeling here of being quite centered inside yourself, with the Justice card being a fair and equal card, and a mental understanding of situations. The Four of Pentacles often suggests that you're doing a really good job of having strong boundaries and holding your own. The Moon card here for advice is that life will never be totally sweet. You will come to situations where you feel like everything's confusing, and that's the way it's going to be. But to always be the best in that moment, to be the lightest in that moment, to be the confident internally in that moment without causing harm to others, is your way forward. So that's your message. I can't remember what country or what planet it was meant to be from. Pleiades. Okay, hope that makes sense. Hope the extra bit helped. As I said, it's really difficult digging sometimes. I'm going to love you and leave you. Bye.